Hello and welcome back to Bollywood Dive In, your weekly deep dive into everything making waves in the world of Hindi cinema. I'm Priya.
I'm Meera.
I'm Emma. And I'm Poppy. And girls, I feel like we have to start with the biggest, happiest, most awe-inducing news of the week. The internet basically broke. It really did. A very specific, very adorable corner of the internet just collectively melted. We are, of course, talking about Deepika Padukone and Ranveer Singh announcing they're expecting their second child. Oh my gosh, the announcement picture. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen. Just the little onesie, the tiny shoes, the little cap. It was so simple and so perfect. See, this is what I love about them. There's no big dramatic photo shoot, no exclusive magazine cover, just this sweet little graphic that says everything. It felt so personal, even though it was for millions of people. It's like they know how to handle their own narrative. It was pure, distilled good news. And the date, September, that's so soon. I immediately started doing the math in my head, which is ridiculous because it's not my baby, but you just get caught up in the excitement, don't you? You absolutely do. And in India, this kind of news, especially from a couple that is so beloved, it's not just celebrity news. It feels like news for the family. There's a collective sense of happiness, of khush khabri. It's a cultural thing, this shared joy in a new life coming. And the comments were just a tidal wave of love.
I saw that. It felt like every single person in the industry commented within 5 minutes. Priyanka Chopra, Samantha, Kiara, Advani. Was there a group chat I don't know about? Like, okay, everyone post your congratulations at 11:02 a.m. Right? It's the modern version of the phone tree. But it was genuinely sweet. You could feel the affection. My favorite was probably Alia Bhatt's comment. Because she and Ranveer just went through this and now their kids can have little play dates. Imagine the power play dates. Oh, the Bollywood baby cinematic universe is expanding. I'm so here for it. Can you imagine the birthday parties? It's going to be epic. But it's just lovely to see such a universally happy story. There was no snark, no cynicism, just everyone going yay.
And it comes at a time when they're both at the top of their game. Ranveer's last film, Dhurandhar The Revenge, is still in cinemas and is just, the numbers are staggering. Staggering is the word. It's in its 5th weekend and it's still pulled in over 11 crore. The total is nearing 960 crore. Wait, can we just pause on that number? 960 crore. I did the conversion. That's over 115 million US dollars from one market primarily. That is a monster hit. That's a superhero movie level number. It's a phenomenon. It's one of those films that transcends just being a movie and becomes a cultural event. People are going back 2-3 times. It's clearly hit a nerve with the audience. So for them to have this massive professional high and then share this beautiful personal news, it's just a wonderful moment for them. It really is. It's like the universe is just showering them with good things. And honestly, they seem like two people who really deserve it. They have such a fun, supportive energy with each other. You just want them to be happy. And it's a masterclass in how to be a celebrity couple. They share just enough to make you feel included, but they keep the most important things private until they're ready. That's a tightrope walk, and they nail it every time. So a huge congratulations to them. We're all just buzzing. Absolutely. From one power couple to another, we also saw Anushka Sharma and Virat Kohli taking a spiritual trip. They were spotted in Vrindavan.
Oh, I love seeing them together. They always look so normal. Like, yes, they're two of the most famous people in the country, but they also just look like a sweet couple on a trip.
And Vrindavan is a very significant place to visit. It's deeply associated with Lord Krishna. It's a place people go to for peace, for blessings. After the birth of their son, Atai, it feels like a trip of gratitude.
I read there was some weird controversy with a German influencer there at the same time. The headline mentioned it.
Oh, there's always something. But honestly, it had nothing to do with them. It was just a case of unfortunate timing. Some influencer was causing a scene and they happened to be in the same town. I think the story is more about how they navigate these public spaces with such grace. They go, they have their personal moment, and they don't get drawn into any of the noise. That's their specialty, isn't it? Creating their own quiet bubble in the middle of a hurricane of fame. It's admirable. Speaking of navigating fame, let's talk about a trend that's becoming less of a trend and more of a permanent fixture. Actors taking control and turning producers.
Oh, I love this topic.
It feels so empowering. It is. The list is getting longer and longer. The article mentioned Shah Rukh Khan, of course, who's the OG of this. Red Chillies Entertainment is a behemoth. But now you have Alia Bhatt with Eternal Sunshine Productions, Kriti Sanon, even Vikrant Masse has his own production house now. This is something that's been happening in Hollywood for a while, and it's been a game changer. Especially for women. Reese Witherspoon's Hello Sunshine, Margot Robbie's Lucky Chap, they started their companies because they were tired of waiting for good roles to be written for them. Is that the same motivation here? I think it's a huge part of it. Look at what Anushka Sharma did with Clean Slate Films. She produced dark, interesting female-led stories like NH10 and Bulbul that probably wouldn't have been made by a mainstream studio. Alia producing Darlings is another perfect example. She gave herself one of her best and most complex roles. It's about creating your own opportunities and telling the stories you think are important, not just the ones the market has decided are safe.
It's also just a really smart business move. You're no longer just a face for hire. You have a stake in the intellectual property. You're building an asset. It gives you longevity beyond your peak years as a romantic lead. Shah Rukh Khan is the blueprint. He built an empire that includes a world-class VFX studio. He's not just in the movie business, he's in the infrastructure of the movie business.
That's so cool. And it must be so creatively fulfilling. Imagine reading a book or a script that you love, and instead of having to convince a dozen executives to make it, you can just say, okay, we're doing this. Vikrant Massey is such an interesting example. He's this brilliant actor who has always been part of these incredible, content-driven films. For him to start a production house, it signals that he's going to be a home for that kind of cinema.
Exactly. It's a seal of quality. If Vikrant Massey's company is making a film, you have a certain expectation of the kind of story it's going to be. It helps build a brand for a different kind of cinema. It diversifies the ecosystem. It's not just about the 100 crore club anymore. It's about creating a sustainable space for smaller, more intimate, and more experimental stories to be told.
Does it change the power dynamic in the industry when the actors are also the bosses?
Massively. Because now they're in the rooms where the decisions are being made. They're greenlighting projects, they're hiring writers and directors. It decentralizes the power away from just a handful of legacy studios. And it means the money and the creative control are in the artists, which in theory should lead to better and more passionate filmmaking. It's the ultimate form of creative agency. And it's wonderful to see so many of the younger generation, especially the women, embracing it so fully. They're not waiting for permission, they're building their own tables.
I love that, building their own tables. And hopefully those tables are full of amazing scripts for us to watch.
Well, speaking of things to watch, the box office is still very much dominated by the big boys. We mentioned Ranveer, but Akshay Kumar also had a new release, Bhooth Bangla, which just cracked his top 5 opening weekends of all time. That's incredible. The man is a machine. How many films does he release a year? 3, 4? It feels like 12. But you can't argue with the results. The audience shows up. It's interesting. His biggest opener is still Houseful 5, which is pure comedy. But this new one, Bhooth Bangla, is a horror comedy. That genre seems to be absolutely bulletproof at the Indian box office.
Is it a uniquely Indian thing, the horror comedy? We have them in the US, like Shaun of the Dead or Zombieland, but they feel more like cult hits. In India, it seems to be a mainstream, massive money genre.
It really is. I think it's because it offers the best of both worlds. You get the thrill and the jumps, but it's cushioned by laughter, so it's a communal experience. You can go with your whole family or a big group of friends. It's not too scary that it alienates people, and it's not so silly that it feels pointless. It hits that sweet spot of pure entertainment. Stree really set the modern template, and everyone has been building on it since.
I'd be too scared for the horror bits. I'd just be hiding behind my popcorn waiting for the jokes.
That's the point, Poppy. That's the fun of it. But it's a testament to Akshay Kumar's star power that even after so many years and so many films, he can still command a massive opening weekend. He knows his audience and he delivers for them. Absolutely. And one more piece of casting news that caught my eye was Riteish Deshmukh confirming that Salman Khan has a role in his upcoming historical epic, Raja Shivaji.
Ooh, that's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. Riteish is directing and starring in this film, which is a massive passion project for him. It's about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who is an incredibly revered historical figure, especially in Maharashtra. To have Salman Khan, one of the biggest stars in the country, agree to be in your film, even in a special role, is a massive vote of confidence. And it's smart. It instantly elevates the scale and the reach of the film. Suddenly, it's not just a regional historical drama, it's a pan-Indian event movie, because Salman's fans will show up no matter what. I saw the clip of Abhishek Bachchan's reaction when Riteish announced it on stage. He was so genuinely thrilled and impressed. It was a lovely moment of actors supporting actors.
What kind of role is he playing? Is it a cameo or something more substantial?
They're being very tight-lipped about it, which is even smarter. It built anticipation. But the speculation is that it'll be a very powerful, pivotal role. It's exciting because it's not the kind of film you typically associate with Salman Khan, so it'll be interesting to see what he brings to it. It just shows the kind of goodwill that Riteish has in the industry. And the ambition of the project. You don't get Salman Khan on board for a small film. This is going to be grand. So a lot to look forward to on the horizon.
Okay, my brain is full of news. I think it's time to figure out what we're actually going to sit down and watch this weekend. What's on the menu?
Well, if you're in the mood for something gritty and intense, ZEE5 is dropping a new docuseries called Lawrence of Punjab.
Okay, the title alone has me intrigued. It sounds like a historical epic, but I'm guessing it's not about a British officer in the 1920s.
Not quite. It's actually a true crime documentary series about the gangster Lawrence Bishnoi. He's a very notorious figure in India, linked to a lot of high-profile cases. This feels like a very ZEE5 move. They're really carving out a niche for themselves with these deep dives into the Indian criminal underworld. It's dark, it's controversial, but it's also undeniably compelling. The true crime genre is exploding in India, much like it did in the US a few years ago.
That's so interesting. In the States, we had this huge wave with Making a Murderer and The Jinx, and it became a whole cultural phenomenon. Is it having the same kind of impact in India? Are people becoming armchair detectives and debating the cases on social media? Absolutely. There's a huge appetite for it. I think part of it is that for a long time, these stories were just sensationalized headlines in the newspaper. A documentary series allows for a much deeper, more nuanced exploration of the people and the systems involved. But it also walks a very fine line. There's always the danger of glorifying crime or being exploitative.
Yeah, that's what I always worry about with true crime. It's real people, real victims. It feels a bit strange to turn that into entertainment for my weekend. I think I need my weekend watch to be a little more fluffy.
And that's totally fair. It's definitely not for everyone. But for those who are fascinated by the psychology of it all and the complex web of crime and politics in certain regions, this will be right up their alley. It's tapping into that same curiosity that makes shows like Patal Lok or Mirzapur so popular, but with the added layer of it being real. It's also a sign of how mature the streaming platforms in India have become. They're not just competing with Bollywood anymore. They're producing hard-hitting investigative journalism that you might have only seen on news channels before. It's a different kind of content.
So for the rest of us who might not be in a true crime mood, what are the other options? The siyasat list mentioned like 14 different things. The paradox of choice is real.
It's a crisis.
I spend more time scrolling through Netflix and Prime Video and Hotstar than I do actually watching anything. My food gets cold while I'm trying to decide.
The endless scroll. It's the defining struggle of our generation. I'll see something interesting, add it to my watch list, and then my watch list becomes this terrifying multi-page monster of a list that I will never ever finish. It's a content graveyard. I have a 3-scroll rule. If I can't find something in the first 3 rows of recommendations, I just re-watch an old comfort movie. Life's too short.
That's a good rule. I might have to adopt that. I think this weekend I'm leaning towards a movie, not a series. I don't have the emotional energy to commit to 8 episodes of something. I need a story with a beginning, a middle, and an end, all in the space of 2.5 hours.
Here. A nice contained experience. So what films have actually been released? What are the critics saying? Well, this is where it gets interesting. There's a new Malayalam film out called, and Priya, you're going to have to help me with this, Oru Duroha Sahacharyatil. You got it. That's pretty good. It translates to In a Suspicious Circumstance. Okay, I'm already hooked. That's a great title, right? But the reviews are completely split down the middle. It's one of those films that has critics either calling it a masterpiece or a mess. Bharadwaj Rangan called it utterly unique and beautifully bizarre. Ooh, beautifully bizarre is my catnip. That makes me want to see it immediately. What's it about? From what I've gathered, it's very hard to explain. It's directed by Riteish Balakrishnan Poduwal, who did Na Than Case Kodu, and he has a very specific, quirky, satirical style. It stars Kunchaku Boban and Dilish Pothan, who are 2 phenomenal actors. It seems to be a film that plays with form and genre in a really unconventional way. It's a drama, but it's surreal, and it's a bit of a thriller. But then you have the review from the Indian Express, which says, too much experimentation ruins this film. They said the only thing holding it together are the brilliant performances. So you have 2 respected critics with polar opposite takes. I kind of love that though. It means the film is taking a risk. It's not playing it safe. It's trying to do something new. And for some people it works, and for some it doesn't. Isn't that what art is supposed to do? Provoke a strong reaction? That's a fantastic point, Poppy. And it's something that Malayalam cinema in particular is not afraid to do. There's a reason it's considered one of the most exciting and innovative film industries in India right now. They are consistently pushing boundaries. They're willing to be weird. And even if it doesn't always land perfectly, the attempt itself is exciting.
It sounds a bit like the reaction to some of Yorgos Lanthimos' films, like A Lobster or Poor Things. You have people who think he's a genius and people who just think it's self-indulgent nonsense. It creates a great conversation. And I think that's the divide. It's between wanting a film to tell you a story versus wanting a film to give you an experience. This sounds like it's definitely in the experience category. I'm intrigued, but I'd have to be in a very specific, patient mood to watch it. I can't be tired or distracted. You have to give yourself over to it. And the fact that everyone agrees the performances are brilliant is a great sign. Kuchako Bobem especially has had this incredible career renaissance, where he's just choosing the most interesting, challenging roles. He's fearless. Okay, so that's the beautifully bizarre option. What if we want something a little more straightforward? What's this Do Diwane Se Harme? That sounds cute. Do lovers in a city. Yep, that's your classic rom-com. Access Bollywood reviewed it and said it was a charming, light-hearted film. It's not reinventing the wheel, but it's sweet and well-acted. Sometimes that's exactly what you need. It's your comfort food movie, the cinematic equivalent of a warm blanket and a cup of chai. There is always a place for that. And what about Khan City? The title sounds like a thriller. Yup, a heist thriller. The review I saw said it was slick and fast-paced, but maybe a little predictable. Fun, but forgettable. Your standard popcorn fare. So we have the whole spectrum covered really. The experimental art film, the cozy rom-com, and the slick thriller. It's a good week for choice.
It really is. It feels like there's a real variety of stories being told right now, which is always a good thing. You can pick your own adventure, as long as you don't get stuck in the endless scroll.
Okay, but before we move on, can we talk about the trailer that absolutely blew my mind this week? Did you guys see the teaser for Kalyug? Oh, I did! It was only like a minute long, but wow, they packed a lot into that minute. I saw it pop up on my feed. The visuals looked insane. What's the story? The name sounds epic. It's incredibly epic. Kalyug refers to the fourth and final era in the Hindu cycle of yugas or ages. It's often called the age of darkness or the age of vice, where humanity is at its furthest from divinity. It's a very powerful, very potent mythological concept. And the trailer just captured that feeling. It was so dark and grand. The VFX looked incredible. There was this one shot of a city that was half ancient temple, half futuristic dystopia. I got goosebumps. The casting is wild too. They've brought together actors from the Hindi, Tamil, and Telugu industries. It feels like a genuine pan-Indian production, not just a dubbed film. They're building it from the ground up to be a national event. It definitely had that feel. The scale felt like something out of Dune or Blade Runner, but with this distinctly Indian mythological core. I find that fusion so fascinating. It's taking these ancient, foundational stories and imagining them with cutting-edge technology and a futuristic aesthetic. It's a genre that's really taking off, this blend of sci-fi and mythology. We saw it with Brahmastra, and this looks like it's pushing that idea even further. It's a way of connecting a very deep cultural heritage with a modern global cinematic language. It's exciting because it's a type of story that only Indian cinema can tell. And the sound design. Even in the teaser, the score was so powerful. It had this mix of traditional chanting and this heavy electronic Hans Zimmer-style bass. It just made everything feel so huge and important. I'm so excited. I know it's just a teaser and we have to manage our expectations, but it just looks like it's swinging for the fences. It's not trying to be a small, quiet film. It's aiming to be a spectacle. And sometimes that's what cinema is for, to create a world that is bigger and more awe-inspiring than our own. I'm definitely marking my calendar for that one. It looks like a proper big screen experience. Well, from the future of Indian cinema, shall we take a trip to its past? Yes, my favorite part, flashback time. What are we watching this week? This week, we're going back to 1954 to the black and white streets of Bombay with the Navketan Films classic, Taxi Driver, Dev Anand. I've seen a few of his films and his screen presence is just magnetic. He has this incredible, almost modern energy. He really does. In Taxi Driver, he plays Mangal, a cabbie in Bombay, and he's just the epitome of the charming, street-smart, good-hearted hero. The film was directed by his brother Chetan Anand and produced by his other brother Vijay Anand, who'd later direct him in Guide. Navketan was a real family affair, and they produced some of the most iconic films of that era. And the style.
Oh my god, the style. Devanand's jaunty cap, the way he leans against his taxi, the slicked backed hair, he was effortlessly cool. He created a whole persona that was so different from the other big stars of his time, like Raj Kapoor's Chaplin-esque tramp or Dilip Kumar's tragic hero. Devanand was the urban, optimistic, slightly westernized hero. And the music, the songs in this film are just timeless. S.T. Burman's score is legendary. Jayan To Jayin Kahan is one of the most beautiful, melancholy songs ever written. It just captures that feeling of being lost and alone in a big city. It really does. And the city itself, Bombay, is such a character in the film. It's shot on location, so you get this incredible, authentic glimpse of the city in the 1950s. The bustling streets, the iconic landmarks, the nightlife. It's a beautiful time capsule. The film has this almost film noir quality to it, this gritty, atmospheric feel. I was going to say that. It has a lot of the elements of American film noir. The cynical but good-hearted protagonist, the dark city streets, the damsel in distress, in this case the character played by Kalpana Karthik. How does it compare to the noirs of that time? It's a great comparison. It has the mood and the look of a noir, but it has a distinctly Indian heart. There's more optimism, more romance. It's not as cynical as its American counterparts. At its core, it's a story about human connection and kindness in a tough, unforgiving city. And the chemistry between Devanand and Kalpana Karthik is just wonderful. Well, it should be. They fell in love on the set of this film and got married during a lunch break while filming.
No way! Are you serious? That is the most romantic thing I have ever heard.
It's true. It adds a whole other layer when you watch their scenes together. That sparkle in their eyes is real. It's not just acting.
That's amazing. It makes the film even more special. It's a snapshot of this real-life love story beginning.
It really is. And Taxi Driver represents a very important moment in Hindi cinema. It was part of this wave of post-independence films that were exploring the new modern India. The city was the landscape of opportunity and also of struggle. These films were grappling with what it meant to be young and ambitious in this new nation. They feel so full of life and hope. And they were just so well crafted. The writing, the direction, the performances, the music, everything came together perfectly. It's a film that you can watch today, almost 70 years later, and still be completely captivated by it. It doesn't feel dated. The emotions are still so raw and relatable. It's just pure charm, isn't it? That's the word that keeps coming to mind. Devanand's performance is just charm personified. He makes you smile. He makes you root for him. He was a true star.
He really was. It's amazing to look back at films like Taxi Driver and see the foundations of the industry being laid. The passion and the artistry were there right from the beginning. It's grown and changed so much, but that core desire to tell compelling stories has always been there. It's incredible to think about the journey from a black and white film shot on the streets of Bombay to a massive VFX-heavy spectacle like Kali Yuga. The industry has become so much bigger, so much more professional. It's a global force now. It really is. And if you're looking for work in Bollywood or India-related content, in India, the US or the UK, check out today's digest at indiareview.com.
That's a great shout because it takes so many talented people to make these films happen. From the VFX artists to the writers to the production assistants, it's a huge ecosystem. It's a dream job for so many people. And watching a film like Taxi Driver just reminds you of the magic of it all. It makes you fall in love with the movies all over again.
It certainly does. A true classic, and one that is definitely worth revisiting or discovering for the first time. Well, I think that's all the time we have for this week. My watch list is now officially overflowing.
Mine too. I'm starting with the beautifully bizarre and then moving on to the charmingly classic. It's going to be a good weekend. From headlines to heartbeats, you've been listening to Bollywood Dive In by IndiaReview.com. Catch you where the stories are.